So I am personally not a large fan of the government. They generally get in the way, they have too many regulations, but here, CISA has done some good stuff. And in December, they added some implementing security practices for cloud services required configurations. And there are a couple of those that deal with PAM, and we'd like to look at those and discuss how they apply to MSPs and other such. So the first one here that we want to look at is privileged users shall be provisioned with finer grain roles than global administrator. This means that as an MSP, when your technicians access your client networks and as your tenants, they should not all be global administrator. They should have the privileges that suit their skills and abilities. This is something that TechIDManager supports. There are 200 plus roles in Azure and rights that you can assign. TechIDManager supports assigning any one of those to any group of technicians so that they can have just the rules they need, not all be global administrator. Another one, the next one they put out here is that providers or privileged users shall be provisioned cloud-only accounts that are separate from an on-premise directory or other federated identity providers. This means that things like AD Connect that sync an on-prem privileged account to Azure should not be used. This is something that we have long said. We have supported that AD Connect syncing because so many MSPs use it, but it has always been our statement. We believe it is better if you have an on-prem account managed by TechIDManager and then an Azure-only account for each technician managed by TechIDManager. We support both models, but we have always argued that the separate accounts is better. We've argued for several reasons. One, if you have a variety of technicians with a variety of skills, some could be good at on-prem infrastructure management, and then they wouldn't need an Azure account. And some could be good at Azure maintenance, and then they should not have an on-prem account because it's not something they should be doing, logging into, using. You should give people roles and accounts only where they need them, and those roles and should have the rights specific to those places. The next one, permanent active role assignments shall not be allowed for highly privileged roles except for emergency and service accounts. We at TechIDManager have long believed this, and we have just-in-time accounts to handle just this thing. So that your account as a technician to access an Azure tenant or an on-prem domain controller or wherever it might be, even an individual Windows machine, they only exist for the time that you need them. You request they be enabled, the account is created, provisioned, new password set, sent back to you, MFA all set up for it, so then you can use that account for a duration of time that you need. This is something we think is very important. Also, provisioning users to highly privileged roles shall not occur outside of a PAM system because this bypasses critical controls the PAM system provides. This we believe very strongly. We could be biased in this because we provide a PAM product that has on-prem and Azure PAM control, so we really think that this is the way you should do it. And then activation of a global administrator role shall require approval. That has been true from the beginning for TechIDManager. If you want to activate a global administrator role, a manager has to give that role to you, and then you have it to use when you want. So it is nice to see that CISA has come around and has started to say some of the things that we have long talked about, and that our product is aligning well with what a lot of the experts in the field say should be done. If you have any questions about how TechIDManager works or what PAM looks like for Azure or some of the things that we think are best practice and how they align with what CISA says or HIPAA or PCI or CMMC or any of the other cybersecurity frameworks or cybersecurity insurance frameworks that you might be trying to accomplish as an MSP, talk to us. TechIDManager.com. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great day.